Good Monday morning. My name is Lindsay House. I'm a dietitian, trainer, accountability coach, author coming at you live every Monday morning to get this week started right and hitting that reset button. Happy President's Day. I realize that a lot of you might be traveling this weekend, and I feel like people were off skiing and visiting family and friends. And so, bottom line today is probably that travel back day. So safe travels. And to pull this into food for a second, or resetting that button on what the week's going to look like, something that I always give my sister credit for is when she typically is coming back from trips, she does the click list with her grocery of choice. And when she does that, she swoops in and grabs groceries, and then it's not just the unpacking of the suitcases, it's unpacking of suitcases and groceries, and all of a sudden something that normally is huge and big as far as like trying to get back out to the store, trying to get everything prepped for the week, she already has like half the battles done, right? And so I just encourage you, if you can find a small tweak like that for you that like is a huge game-changing difference, that really try to pull that in today. Anything that's going to set you up for success, that's going to make your week that much easier as you go into it, do it, right? It's one of those like, and I still haven't pulled the trigger on doing the click list or doing something like that, but in my head it makes so much sense and it really works for her. So that's my new game plan too, is as the week starts, if I'm coming off a trip, and you know me and I struggle through transitions, but trying to just do those little changes that really do make a big difference. So that's your challenge. Number one is to do something today that's going to benefit your week. And then our topic for today is reaping what we sow. And don't worry, I know this is a very biblical term. I'm really not taking it too far down this path. I'm going to be a little shallow with it, honestly, but that's our topic, and I wanted to give you the definition for the topic. Okay, it means to receive as a reward or harvest in the same measure as one's exertions. Okay, to receive as a reward or harvest in the same measure as one's exertions. So that's just meaning our work is coming out in some form of reward at some point, right? And so again, we're not taking this too far down the biblical path today. What I really want you to get is the concept of our work, or our daily constant efforts are what we are sowing. Okay, that's that part. And at some point, that maybe coming back. Okay, that our work, our efforts pay off. That this is where we reap, we harvest, we get reward. So something was brought to my attention yesterday, and you get those moments where something really stands out, and it was this, and the pastor said, there, what we forget is that there's a season between the sowing and the reaping, the efforts and the reward. A season, there is time that passes between those efforts and the reward, and that's really hard, right? And you're going to totally know where I'm going with this, but before I go any further with that, my husband and I were breaking that down too. His grandparents were farmers, and so he really got to grow up watching this process of the nurturing of the land, the planting of the seed, and then once the seed's planted, the constant nurturing and the constant work that goes into the watering, the weeding, the way before any time that harvest is going to happen, that the plant, the crop actually shows, and you actually get to see your efforts paying off. And what's interesting with that is that's a long time. I didn't grab exact month span, so, and I don't want to screw this up, but almost a year, right? Call it 9 months to almost a year of work going on well before reward happens. And if we really think about this, if we take the point that let's say season, which equals time, okay? If we take that amount of time and we settle in with that, and one of the examples that our pastor was giving yesterday is like, let's say people are trying to work on their marriage, and they make huge efforts, have efforts in the way that they're speaking to one another, and their thought life, and their thoughts of how they think of one another, and in their efforts of their doing for one another, and expecting that tomorrow marriage should get better, or tomorrow or this week I should feel better in my marriage, and remembering that it takes time, and that it might not look like a day or a week or even a month. And that's why people often talk in times of seasons, because a season of change. And let's transfer that thinking right into health and fitness. How often do we make efforts and expect to see change, right? I'm going to put these words into it. So the sowing is that part where, or the planting of the seed is that part where we've implemented change. Let's say that we've joined a gym and started going, or let's say that we've started packing our lunches, or that we have stopped going out to eat as often, that we are making big change and seeing minimal result yet, right? Like that we're really not quite seeing anything that's making all these huge efforts feel like they are paying off. But we have to remember the season that's in between the efforts and the reward, okay? That there's time that has to go down, and the time is the really frustrating part. The time's the part that we're like, oh, this is too much effort for not enough change, right? But the bottom line is that now it's that settle in part. It's the we're nurturing, right? We're taking that time to put in the efforts, to nurture the efforts, to work, because change is coming, because our reward is coming, because we get to harvest at some point. We get to reap our rewards of all that beautiful effort that we've been putting in that season of change. So, settle in, right? Buckle up. It's a ride, and it can be a frustrating ride, but it is in fact a ride, and we just gotta like enjoy it, enjoy the process, enjoy all those beautiful small rewards that are coming in the process, but the big ones just take some time to get to. So, all right, I'm really trying to keep these short. I tell you this every Monday, and I'm doing it. So happy President's Day. Every Friday we are podcasting. Yay, it's been so fun. So every Friday I will release a podcast. If you want that dumped into your lap, jump on the newsletter. I keep posting that link. Sign up for the newsletter, because then I can just throw that in your inbox every Friday. If you ever feel like these chats or a podcast is doing you some good, please feel free to hit that like button, to share it. Anytime you do any of that, it bumps it out. More people can see it. So it just helps on getting that message into one more person's lap who maybe needed to see it that day. Huge hugs. Have an awesome week, a short week, right? And travel safe if you're coming back today. Okay, big hugs. Goodbye.